Hello world! We are back with Diskogs Presents. I have my very special guest, Christian, with me today.
Hello. We're
and
back.
We are here for another season of your favorite music review show, Diskogs Presents. This season we are streaming from the roof. And this will be the Rooftop Review series. I'll be, I'm dressed for the exciting occasion today of our big return. But I'll definitely be doing some tanning up here this season. We have a lot of exciting new music to talk about. There's been a lot of interesting releases since we last aired our program.
No doubt there have been.
There's a lot of great contemporary albums to talk about. I'm very excited. Today we'll be talking about a very exciting release. A few weeks ago, Olivia Rodrigo released her highly anticipated third album. You seem pretty sad.
Pretty sad for a girl so much in love, so much in love.
Unfortunately, we don't know the exact title.
It's pretty long.
It's a long title. It's a great cover though. It's got her on a swing. She's upside down. I really like the cover.
It's also, I think the title's not capitalized. Even the word I.
None of the songs are capitalized.
The word I is not in the title. Never mind.
It's very cool. Very Gen Z.
Yeah.
I like it. But yeah, it's a terrific cover. I'll put it up right here. I love the cover. I was going to buy the vinyl, but after some research, I discovered that since this is a long album, they had to make some minor cuts to it, to certain songs, and including some of my favorite songs on the record. So I wasn't gonna. I didn't buy it, but maybe one day. Anyway, that's what we're reviewing today.
We're also going to talk about Shonen Knife, a classic Shonen Knife record. It's a girl punk themed debut episode. If you didn't catch the theme,
right. So here we go. So Olivia Rodrigo is one of the world's biggest pop stars in 2026.
There's no denying that.
She had her debut a number of years ago when she was like 17, I believe. Now she is 23, so...
Wasn't she didn't she come up on the Disney Channel in some capacity?
Yeah, she was a Disney star turned pop star in the vein of Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, actor turned superstar. But so that's a 6-year gap. It's a long time to mature, but still at 23 she's still young. She has a long way to go for the rest of her career. But this album, I'd never really listened to it before, but I really like it. I think it's very good. Earlier I mentioned the cut tracks that got the bits cut off them.
What are these cut tracks?
Well, my favorite song on the album is probably You Plus Me Equals Love Heart. I think it's a terrific song, and it makes me feel something. And at first I listened to this album and I was like, ugh, it's pop trash. But actually, like the best pop trash, it's not actually trash. It's actually terrific, hooky melodies and choruses that just send you into another world. It's quite incredible. That song particularly has this amazing lyric in the chorus. I know people change, but I hope we don't. Wow, what power in that. I love it.
Yeah, so this album, listened to it a couple times, as any self-respecting critic should. And at first, I'm right there with you, Jerry. It seemed like pop trash to me. I thought that I really didn't like this album. As I listened to it more and more, I realized that I don't like the sequencing of this album. What I particularly don't like is the first 3 tracks. After that, this album hits kind of a stride.
Well, yeah. Do you know about the sad happy track listing? It's kind of a concept album. The first half is happy, second half is sad.
See, that's not how the album reads to me at all. Because the first 3 songs don't seem happy to me at all.
I have to agree with that. When I first listened to it, I was like, is this the happy side? Is this the sad side? And I was told it's the happy side, and I was kind of surprised because it all seems kind of sad.
I mean, obviously, I understand what she's going for is the idea that she's so enthralled with the object of her love that there's a sadness to that because she's not really in control. She's losing agency when you are so obsessed with someone that you'll sacrifice aspects of yourself. I get it on a thematic level, but my issues with it are musical issues. There's like no build-up on any of the first 3 tracks in particular. They like start at this fever pitch of like absolute desperation. And right from the opening of Drop Dead, it's this pounding beat, and it feels so tense, and it just feels like it's asking you to go right to 100 without really earning it. And her vocal delivery is so, it's like up here the whole time, especially on stupid songs.
Stupid song.
It's kind of a stupid song. Do you remember how that chorus goes? It's just like she's pushing her voice at sort of top level the whole time, and it feels like we didn't travel with you to get to this place. All 3 of those first 3 songs are exactly the same like that, and it feels like there's no variation.
What's the third one?
The third one is Honeybee, which, by the way, is just Viva La Vida by Coldplay.
Oh, you know what? There's actually another borrowed melody. It's the same melody as one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite bands, My Bloody Valentine. The song When You Sleep.
That's a good segue talking about the chorus of You Plus Me. I do think this album has a bit of a syllables issue. Feels like Olivia Rodrigo isn't that great with matching her lyrics to the melody in a syllabic way. Like the way she says, you plus me. The S of the word plus is a little scrunched in there in a way that I don't like. I wanted to go, you plus me. There, you got that song, Maggots for Brains. The syllabic emphasis on the word maggots. You know, I know she feels cool talking about maggots as like a pop girl. There's something edgy about throwing those maggots in, but I got maggots for... The emphasis is on the guts, but of course when you say the word maggots, the emphasis should be on the ma. And it just feels like she didn't give that much thought to the scansion, if you want to talk about it in a poetic sense. It bothers me.
It didn't bother me at all. I didn't really have a problem. Because it's not my realm of music. This is pop music. I didn't really feel...
But it's more important in pop music than ever because the point is that the songs need to be singable. They need to be easily singable. Well, for the most
just
part,
not for you.
For the most part, I do think they're singable. No. I actually, quite a lot of these songs, I think, have really surprisingly strong choruses and melodies that are complicated and yet still singable. I would single out You Plus Me as a really good one. I really like Expectations.
Oh my God! Stop right there. What a absolute bop!
It's a great song. It's got this weird, chunky little synth bass that sort of sounds like that Bon Jovi "Living on a Prayer" riff.
Well, it's just some super it's like a dance song, And I was really loving that, the lead up to that with all the sad songs before it, and then it gets into this, just a dance song about kind of having a new sense of your identity.
Yeah. Again, I understand thematically why she wants to put it at the end of the album, because it's about the mental place she's in.
But it's not the end. There's one more song.
I know, but I'm saying it's near the end. Imagine what a great album this could be if it kicked off with Expectations. If it didn't kick off in this totally dour, sapped of energy, like woe is me, clawing at the emotions. If it kicked off in, Expectations, what a pop song. And the chorus, there's like 4 different melody ideas in that chorus, and they fit together beautifully.
It's really a great song, and it is not the last song on the album. There's another song after it, but I just loved that as a banger ending to, you've listened to all this sadness, and then you get to party. But then it goes back to the sadness one more time. And it's a good song, but I kind of wish it wasn't there.
It's an alright song, but it's far from the most memorable song on the album. I would also single out as one of my favorites, I like the song with Robert Smith on it. What's Wrong With Me?
I had no idea Robert Smith was on it. I was like, what? Who is this? This is some young guy? That's weird. His voice is kind of strange, but then I saw it was Robert Smith. And it's that, along with You Plus Me, is definitely the top 2 tracks on the album. It's just incredible. The way their voices blend together, it's so heartfelt. It's the wildest collaboration of musical people I can think of, and it just works so well.
It is surprising how well it works. I do think sometimes Robert Smith sounds a little awkward singing those Olivia Rodrigo lyrics because they just sound so Gen Z girlish, but when they get to the chorus and those harmonies are blending, it's really strong. I was ragging on the lyrics a little bit, but there's some nice turns, especially on like the hook moments. Like for instance, What's Wrong With Me? Taken in isolation, that's like a question, but then the song turns it around in a nice way where it's not a question, it's a statement. I think you're what's wrong with me. That's a nice little reversal. Similarly, My Way, you got the classic.
Oh, I did not like that song. I think that's one of the songs I think shouldn't be on it, especially because it's obviously my favorite song. Every time I listen to the album from my favorite song, I hear that, and I don't like it at all.
This song, I could see, especially that part where she's like, never get the message. It's a little annoying, but you can tell that like a 15-year-old girl, when that part comes on and all the posse of 15 girls are all singing along, they're like, never get the message. You can see how it's like a fun
sing along, yeah.
It's
Fuck
not you, boy.
Not my taste. That song, and there was another song towards the end that was kind of like a musical theater type of sad song. I forget the name, but
one song is it maybe the song Less? Because that's the song
maybe.
I would cut that song. Boring.
Was that a down-tempo
and it
one?
doesn't add any it's a down-tempo one.
Towards the end?
The 2 down-tempo ones near the end are Less and Begged. And between the 2 of them, I think Begged is a little stronger. It has a little bit of like a landslide vibe.
Begged was the one I didn't like. Anyway, the album was a little long.
Yeah.
That's kind of the only problem for me, was a couple of songs could have been cut and it would have been a beautiful piece. It's still a beautiful piece, but there's a couple of hanger-ons in there.
I will say the last favorite song I didn't mention is the song Purple. This is a much more low-key song. Expectations really hits you in the face with how inventive it is. Purple is a sleeper, but even though it's a slow track, it has a surprisingly brisk little drum beat to it, and
I really like that song when she says
really
purple.
Nice. Yeah.
It's really powerful. I see the world. I see the world in purple. It's an interesting and like abstract lyric, but it really works. I think her other album covers were purple, so it kind of. That is how she sees the world, through her music. Also, there's the song The Cure, which is, I don't know how tongue-in-cheek it is because Robert Smith's on the album, but I thought that was kind of funny. I didn't really like it at first, but now I think it's quite good.
It's all right, but it has too many choruses. Most of these songs have one chorus too many.
Oh, the other thing I'd have a small problem with, but it's just a symptom of pop music, is how many of the songs end with the music cutting out and it's just her voice doing the one last line.
Yeah.
I would love to see her move away from that convention. I think that would be really exciting.
Yeah. I mean, that's always the push and pull with these pop artists. It's exciting when they do unconventional things, but of course the medium itself is all built around conventions. So, and you don't want Olivia Rodrigo to become like an avant-garde artist. She's going to be a pop singer, but you want her to push those boundaries. And then, it's a really tough balancing act. And even if this album isn't perfect, and there are some moments where I think it makes too many concessions to pop convention, ultimately it is a pop album that is able to be enjoyed by snobs, and that says a lot.
It does say a lot. Let's talk about Shonen Knife.
Oh, what a beautiful album cover. I had almost given up on record collecting, Jerry, after the love of my life walked out with half of my collection, I thought maybe it's not even worth it to try and build things up because they're just going to fall down again.
She took half?
Did
she pick the half? Or did you
I kind of think she just took them willy-nilly. It didn't seem like there was much rhyme or reason to it because I know she didn't even like a lot of those records that she took. It seemed like it was a calculated attempt to hurt my feelings and nothing other than that. But, well, first of all, the first thought that I had is that collections and potentially even works of art are ephemeral. But the thing that is not ephemeral is criticism, which is why we're here today. But then I saw this in the record shop, and I thought, oh my God, what a beautiful cover with dancing seashells on it, and it's by a wonderful band called Shonen Knife.
Shonen Knife we've all heard about because they're a kind of a mythical punk band from Japan. They opened for Nirvana on their tour, I think for Nevermind, or right before Nevermind, so they kind of blew up because of the association, but they're a terrific rock and roll band.
This is a classic, 1986. If you're into weeb culture at all, you might be familiar with the word baka, which usually seems to refer to like an idiot. You say baka, it's kind of a rude word. But as reading the lyrics to this, it seems like the song about the baka guy is about a seashell. That's the seashells from the cover. So I don't know if baka or guy actually means seashell. I mean, that sets the stage for the discussion of this album because I think it's more than meets the eye. Part of the reason I picked it was just to have a bit of a girl punk theme because obviously Olivia Rodrigo is a bit of a rocker herself. But the other reason I picked it is that Shonen Knife is kind of a band that famously has no subtext. Like the subjects of their songs are all sort of really on the surface, and I thought that kind of fit with Olivia Rodrigo too. I mean, especially Pretty Sad for a Girl in Love. It's like, there's no interpretation to do there. She's telling you exactly.
No double meaning there. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
This is a straightforward collection of songs. There's more than one about eating ice cream.
They love ice cream.
There's the one about going to the bathhouse
Public
and
baths.
eating ice cream after. Those are two really good songs.
There's a song about chocolate bars too. I want to eat choco bars.
Yeah, that's good.
The funny thing is, though,
it's very wholesome.
It is wholesome, but as I listened to this, I sort of realized that it has more subtext than I gave it credit for. For instance, take a song, Summertime Boogie, track number 2. Obviously, a fun title that suggests dancing, Summertime Boogie. This is the weather for it. But if you look at the lyrics, she's talking a lot about sleeping in her bed. She talks about how her mom thinks that she's lazy. And it turns out that the song is really about how the summer comes and you feel this obligation to do all this stuff and you feel like there's a potential for this stuff, but it's also kind of overwhelming.
You just want to stay in bed.
What was that?
You just want to stay in bed.
You just want to stay in bed.
Because it's too hot.
Yeah, and there's something kind of moving about it. And then even when the lyrics are just kind of straightforward, like in the song I Want to Eat Choco Bars, the chords have this kind of melancholy quality to them. And listening to I Want to Eat Choco Bars, it makes me kind of sad, especially when it gets to that chorus where she goes, Daisuki, and the backing vocals come in. There's something oddly moving about it. And, eating a choco bar is an intimate experience between you and yourself. No one else, eating delicious food, and especially food that has no nutritional value, so it's only there to give you pleasure. It's potentially a rebellious act.
I get
a
the
punk
sense
rock act.
that in all of these songs talking about these activities, I get the feeling she's doing it alone. She's not with her friends. She's not like with her boyfriend or whatever. It's her alone in the summertime, and she's spent all this time in bed. But the one thing that'll get her out of the house is knowing she can go for a swim and eat some ice cream after. And maybe she does have friends, but they're busy doing something else. But it is like a vulnerable thing to write songs about.
You're right that this album does have a kind of a lonely feeling to it. It has a lo-fi, thin sound. The guitars especially, they're playing these rock songs, but on some of the songs, especially Public Baths, the guitar sound on that is like so anemic and so... It's really not mixed super high. It's not like a punishing guitar album. And even though it sounds like three girls having fun together, they don't have like a strong muscular sound. They have this like little sweet and personal sound. Even though it's a rock band, it feels sort of like a personal record.
Yeah, and the lo-fi aesthetic kind of lends to that solo kind of in your bedroom kind of vibe. When I was listening to it, I was like, oh, you could put this on at a party, but actually you probably couldn't, because it's rock and roll music, but it is very tinny sounding. And
Tinny is the word.
It's awesome, but it's not... Yeah, it's kind of... It is hard rocking, though, but it's kind of like a singer-songwriter album in that way. Let me see it.
Yeah. I was talking about Olivia Rodrigo really clawing, really not allowing, making sure you get the message, hammering it in, and in particular, repeating choruses a whole lot. Something that characterizes this album is that it really doesn't repeat that much. The songs are short, but some of them, like I Want to Eat Choco Bars, that chorus I mentioned with Daisuke, it only happens one time in the whole song, which to me is just a beautiful thing because we want it so badly. You turn the song and you can't wait for that part, and you only get it once, so it's exciting. Another example is Antonio Baka Guy, where the chorus has that Kirena, Kirena, Baka Guy, bum, bum, bum. There's so few repeats of that, and the first time you listen to it,
that song's really good.
It's really very surprising because they start off in the slow tempo, then the tempo picks up. You don't even expect them to go back to the slow tempo, and when they do, it's very exciting and surprising.
Most of the songs are under 2 minutes long. There's one that's a little over 3 minutes, but it doesn't feel long. One of the songs starts really slow and heavy, almost doom-like. Probably like that for 30 seconds, and it seems like they're going to do like a Black Sabbath-style song. But then it launches into what they do best, hard-hitting, fast rock and roll. And it's really good.
They're tight, too, on those, there's rhythmic changes, and there's lots of precise hits, and they seem like a well-oiled unit.
So for Olivia Rodrigo's album, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's a really fantastic album. You should definitely listen to it. Maybe you don't like pop music so much. Maybe you just listen to Danzig or NWA or the Beatles. But this is it's really hard-hitting if you keep at it.
Well, that makes my score of...
But I'm very excited to see what she does next. That's why I gave it a 9. Because I think she can do better. And there's a couple songs I don't really like.
Well, that kind of makes my score of 6.5 feel harsh, but I liked the album. I thought it was good. That's not a bad score. But I probably only really like 4 or 5 tracks. But Olivia Rodrigo gets a thumbs up from me. She should keep going.
Shonen Knife, Pretty Little Baka Guy. I really liked this one. I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's really, really good. I can't see myself listening to it a whole lot, but can't really see any flaws in it. But it's also like not my favorite thing in the world. 8 out of 10.
I'd also give it an 8 out of 10. It has fewer flaws than the Olivia Rodrigo album, partly just by nature of being shorter. So there's less crap on it to cut out. It's not my favorite Shonen Knife record. I like Burning Farm and Yama no Achan a little bit more, but it's great, and it's so quick. I'll throw it on all the time. Quick little punk stint, and then you go about your day.
If I had the record, I'd probably listen to it a lot, because there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. Okay, this has been the triumphant return Diskogs Presents.
It feels so good to be back. I didn't expect it to feel so good. The sun's on my skin. We're talking about music. I think we're going to do this again.
It's going to be a good season. We'll be back again next week with something very exciting. Can't wait for it. See you then.